Singapore's Mapletree Investments is reaping the rewards of betting big on the US logistics space. It has about 350 warehouses across 26 states. These are now in high demand due to the pandemic-led e-commerce boom and the urgency to secure supply chains.
Very good business for us. Very good growth has been sustained on the back of what's been going on recently.
Mapletree already had a strong presence in Asia and the UK when it entered the US market via the student housing segment around 5 years ago. Its US portfolio now accounts for about a third of the firm's overall exposure, with 20 billion Singapore dollars invested in offices, data centers, and warehouses.
It's the biggest real estate market in the world. Very easy to do business. The foreign ownership restrictions, etc., is relatively straightforward. It's freehold land, and the fundamentals of the economy and the real estate market is very good.
Mapletree's strategy is to acquire properties and then create funds that other investors can buy into. It now has 5 offices across the country and employs up to 170 Americans.
So we've managed to still make acquisitions over the last 18 months. I think we've spent about $5 or $6 billion US dollars invested in US real estate without anybody from HQ having to fly in, because we couldn't.
Singapore is the third largest Asian investor in the United States, with over 65 billion US dollars in investments across various states.
So some of the key sectors would include energy and resource, consumer, technology and manufacturing, infrastructure and logistics, and professional services.
Last year, nearly 120 Singapore companies ventured for the first time onto US shores.
The US economy is now larger than it was before the pandemic and is forecasted to achieve about 6% growth by end 2021. The huge and diverse consumer market, with shift towards health, wellness, and sustainability, presents new opportunities for our Singapore companies to pivot into.
Also helping, a strong brand Singapore.
US impression of Singapore, first, is clean. Singapore is also known for reliability, and hence the ability for us to connect with partners to at least open doors and have the first conversation has been easy, because they do see that Singapore companies are trustworthy. They also do see us as being innovative.
Such perceptions have helped homegrown firms like Cocoba.
The assurance of quality of products made in Singapore is very useful when you're talking to the distributors and retailers.
Cocoba owns the brand Irvin's, well known for its salted egg snacks. Irvin's is now present in 12 markets, most of them in the Asia Pacific. It entered the US market last year.
And we have to educate people, what is fish skin, what is salted egg. We have to go niche first, I think, reach out to people who knows us already. People can order online and we'll deliver to their homes. But most of our distribution is still through the Asian groceries. The majority of our customers are still Asian Americans.
On top of salted egg not being a well-known flavor for most Americans, there were other pressing challenges for the brand.
The original fish skin was not allowed to be imported to USA. We actually had to create a new product, which is a salmon skin, which is then allowed in the country.
The firm currently relies on social media to build brand awareness, and it's managed to turn an early challenge into a bestseller.
People love the spicy, we call it the Hot Booms series, and it's actually very popular in the US. The bestsellers are still our salmon skin, followed by potato chips. The salmon skin are selling at about $9.99 USD.
Experts say those looking to venture stateside can start exploring locations that have similarities with Singapore.
A Singapore firm going into the Midwest or the South may not have as much success as going into the Northeast of the US. It's driven by the financial services industry and much more internationally oriented. So that sort of aligns more with the environment that Singaporeans are used to.
For Mapletree Investments, its confidence in US real estate is for the long haul, and it's making sustainability a focal point.
Well, we think tenants are going to be increasingly up the ESG lines. We own a lot of warehouses now in the US, 70 million square feet or thereabouts. Can we put solar paneling on the roof? So there's all these type of features that we're incorporating in our design for new buildings and our management and improvement of our existing properties.
The Biden administration's $1 trillion infrastructure bill could pave the way for other Singapore firms with expertise in renewable energy and green building solutions. This know-how comes from Singapore's history of having to operate in a resource-scarce environment.
Singapore companies need to ensure their value proposition is differentiated enough, and therefore they will not be dismissed as another Me Too product, right? So in addition to being a good product, US consumers also place great emphasis on the brand story. So companies must devote resources to brand storytelling and ensure they convey that consistently through their packaging, design, and customer experience.